At the junction of three states, Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana, there is a mountain that, frankly, should not be treated like an ordinary rock. Her flat top is literally lost in the clouds, and the vertical walls look as if someone cut them off with a huge blade. The local Indians considered this place to be the abode of the gods, and, tried to stay away. Modern adventurers have dubbed Roraima the Lost World. Yes, the one that prompted Conan Doyle to write the famous novel. But what's interesting is that the deeper scientists dig into the study of this mountain, the more clearly there is a feeling that everything here functions according to its own rules. And even time flows differently. A mountain that has no top. Roraima is not the classic pyramid of mountain slopes that we are used to. This is a plateau, with an area of 34 square kilometers, which soars 2.7 kilometers above the sea. From all sides, there are almost sheer walls, from which hundreds of waterfalls fall down. From below, it looks like the mountain is suspended in the air, in short. Such formations are called table mountains. They are composed of the oldest sedimentary rocks, and they have acquired a smooth, table surface due to millions of years of weathering. Roraima is the largest of them, a real stone fortress that appeared about 2 billion years ago after a powerful earthquake. But it wasn't geology that turned her into a legend. And you know what? Its mystery lies in the fact that for centuries, even the most desperate daredevils were afraid to climb here. The mountain where the gods live. The tribes of Pemon and Capon, who lived at the foot, revered Roraima as a sacred place. They believed that once upon a time it was the trunk of a giant magical tree, on which all the fruits and plants of the earth grew. When the tree was cut down, the world was flooded with water. That's how the Indians interpreted the flood. Later, Roraima was called the home of the goddess queen, the one who created all living things. According to legend, those who dared to climb up to it came down completely different. Silent, pale, as if they had brought out something that could not be told. Even today, locals are looking at this mountain with concern. They say that the usual laws don't work up there, neither natural nor temporary. It's hard to explain, but it feels like this place lives by its own rules. The first researchers. Until the middle of the 16th century, Roraima was known exclusively to Indians. It was not until 1596 that one of the English travelers described it. But the real research started only in 1884, when the first scientific expedition went up there. What the researchers found literally shocked them. The plateau turned out to be a separate world, with streams, lakes, swamps, and plants that can't be found anywhere else on Earth. Scientists have discovered the remains of unknown animals and rock carvings, the origin of which no one has been able to unravel. And then a strange thing happened. The expedition members claimed that they got lost in the fog and spent only a few weeks at the top. But when they came down, it turned out that it had actually passed 4 years old. I just don't know how to explain it. A world where time does not exist. Travelers who have visited the plateau still say that everything feels different at the top. Clouds spread out right under your feet, sounds are muffled, and the sense of time seems to dissolve. Even a sundial is useless here. Clouds don't allow light to fall the same way twice. It can be hot in Roraima during the day, and in 5 minutes there will be a torrential downpour with lightning. It is because of these thunderstorms that trees almost do not grow here. Lightning strikes directly into the flat surface, and traces of impacts are still visible on the rocks. Many plants here are predatory: sundew, pemphigus, heliamphora. They feed on insects, and some are so large that they can digest even small amphibians. Scientists note that carnivorous species have developed here precisely because of the poverty of the soil. There are too few nutrients to survive in the usual way. Well, such are the living conditions, to be honest. Living beings that don't exist anywhere else. Roraima is like a fragment of another planet. There are animals here that you won't find anywhere else. For example, the Guianan harlequin is a tiny frog that cannot jump or swim. When she is in danger, she curls up into a ball and slides between the rocks, escaping into a crevice. Many insects, birds, and even plants are black in color, a rarity in the tropics. Scientists are still debating whether this is due to the peculiarities of the climate, or to an ancient adaptation to lightning, which is too much here. The way up, Climbing Roraima is not easy. There is only one gentle slope, and even it takes several days to walk. First, you need to cross the river, then go through the savanna and reach the rainforest. The air is humid here, and the trees are intertwined with vines. Tourists spend the night in tents and continue climbing in the morning. Before the very top, giant stone steps begin, boulders of regular shape, as if carved by human hand. But geologists assure us that this is the work of wind and water, not people. No matter how it is, nature has done everything by itself. It usually rains on the plateau, so travelers are advised not to stray far from the camp. The surface is riddled with crevasses, and if you stumble, you can fall dozens of meters down, where nature keeps a secret. There are no roads at the very top, but there is a special, isolated life. Streams murmur between boulders, water splashes in lakes, and mists float around that never completely subside. The view from the top is breathtaking. You can see the neighboring Conan Mountain and the endless Grand Savanna. This place is called the Window of Roraima. But despite the beauty, there is something alarming here. Even experienced guides say, "Don't linger, this mountain doesn't like strangers." Maybe it's the weather. Or maybe it's because there really is a sense of something ancient here, something that existed before humans. And everything seems to be clear, but a fragment of the ancient world. Geologists are sure that Roraima is part of an ancient plateau that was destroyed billions of years ago. What we see today is just a fragment miraculously preserved after the disaster. Mystics say otherwise. In their opinion, the mountain is not just a natural formation, but a structure left by someone from above. And if humanity ever learns to understand the language of stones, this is where it will read the first page of its history. Roraima is not just a mountain. It is a place where the past and the present collide on equal terms, where every step is hard, but every minute feels like it's from another time. In short, the place is not for the faint of heart.